a nice side effect of deciding to use Eiffel is that it changes how you communicate things in the company or the organization. And one thing that to me has been really nice with Eiffel is how we talk about quality and using Eiffel. So I want to talk a bit about something we call confidence labels. It's the same as confidence levels. I think it's called confidence level for historical reason, where it was a number, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was how Ericsson talked about confidence a long time ago. When we talk about this kind of stuff, we usually use confidence labels. So I wanted to just talk about that concept a bit. It's the same thing. So when you think about CI and building products and development flows, there are often two aspects to it, which I want to mention first. There's the recipe and there's the result. So say that we're building a car. You don't start building a car by just randomly throwing things together until they work. You first have a plan and you end up with a document or some statement of like what should go into that car. And that provides a recipe. Using that recipe, which you also can evolve over time, you can then start producing software for the car and upgrading software and producing loads of cars, etc. And I see confidence labels or levels the same way, that a confidence label is a possible quality stamp. It's announcing to the rest of the world that one thing that we are going to do as part of our verification process is to figure out if we have quality in some area or for some label. And it's then connected to a baseline. That's the term that we use. And it's a recipe, basically, for things we want to put together. So say that we have something we want to put together, some recipe. And we then have two confidence labels. We know that we want to verify if it passes the sanity checks, and we want to verify that it's stable over time. So this could be like very, very short-term tests and very long-term tests. We still haven't really said anything about the quality of some specific composition. We're just communicating that this is the way we are going to be representing quality for compositions. So then we can have a result. In Eiffel, this would be a confidence level modified. That's how you announce a result for a confidence level or confidence label. And there it's an actual quality stamp. And it's connected to a version where you have actually selected like this version of that code, this version of this artifact, this version of that composition, etc. So the result would then either be pass or fail. And if you're lucky or good, I guess, you will get a pass for both these confidence labels. And then you know that, yeah, it's green to move ahead because we've passed all the verification that we have. And maybe in the next version, you make some change and it fails the stability verified test. So then you would get a negative confidence label result, which would still be communicated as a confidence level modified event, but it then indicates that something did not work. And you can dig further into that. And in the process, you might say that if it doesn't pass the sanity checks or sanity tests, there's no point in even trying to run stability tests. We can just skip that step whatsoever. And that's also something to communicate. So there are essentially three states of a result: pass, fail, or not tested. And they all mean something useful to the people who are interested in quality. There is support in Eiffel for hierarchical confidence levels, where you can define maybe internally in your own team or in your own organization that, yeah, we are interested in keeping track of all these different kinds of verification separately. But when we communicate with a larger organization, we just want to have one label that says we are done. And I think in Eiffel, this is called a sub-confidence level. So this one would reference a bunch of other confidence label results then, because they were modified events. So you could have a scenario where you have a system that checks if all these confidence label results have come in pass, it automatically emits a positive confidence level for this sort of parent label. And that's a good way to be able to both have like a more broken down or detailed view for the people who are interested in that, but a more summarized view for the people who just want to know, is this organization done with everything they are planning to do? And you could have the same then as we saw before, where if something fails, these things will not even be run because we say that we require robustness to pass. And we will then emit a fail on the top level because some of the children failed. It would be very possible for even outside of the organization to listen to, say, this sanity event, because it may be that, again, coming back to what I described briefly earlier on, in Volvo Cars, we have unit, component, domain, and complete. There's usually some stuff you can start testing on domain when we just have a few positive results on the component level. Some integration tests can be run. So they can decide that, okay, when the sanity is verified, then we will start doing something, but we will not let it through our level until it's fully verified on the lower level. We get this nice sort of way to start doing some testing, but not pretending that everything is fine. And yeah, essentially, I think this fills a very nice gap that usually appears when it becomes complex to talk about quality in an organization. And I think the Eiffel confidence level concept is really good. And it can also be, of course, that some of these can be set by people. In the automotive industry, a lot of some of the verification is done by someone actually going to a car, sitting down and pushing buttons and driving it for a bit and see if it works. So there's not going to be an automated system that automatically sends a confidence level modified event for that. But a person can do that. They can report that, okay, I have tested this works. I will now report a confidence level modified. And that can in turn trigger a lot of automated stuff. So yeah, essentially, I just wanted to say that for me, having confidence levels and using that as a concept to talk about quality, really powerful. And that's been one of my main concepts that I've sort of stolen or borrowed from Eiffel in general. It's nice. Yeah.
So are you using this parent way of doing it? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in this case, would it send the new parent each time anything happens, or will it only like report a pass or fail when everything has been reported of the children?
Yeah, the way we use it, it's only when you can determine the pass or fail on the top level. Okay. That's where you would send it. So we wouldn't go and like update the parent more than once. We just say, okay, now we have enough information to see that it should pass or it should fail, and you send one event for it. That's the way we do it. Yeah.
We use the link about this link between the facility customers.
I think in our current implementation we don't, but there is support in the Eiffel protocol for doing it. There is something called a sub-confidence level, I think, that we should use for this.